next thing I want to focus on is to add what's called code highlighting or syntax highlighting. So basically what you see in lots of technical blogs is that they usually insert code snippets, and you would probably want them to be formatted in a good way. So for instance, this blog post has a lot to do with code, and it doesn't look very pretty at the moment. It's just simple text in a smaller font size. So I want to make this have the JavaScript syntax. And fortunately, there are plugins we can use for that. So this is the gatsby-remark-prismjs plugin. So I can just grab this entire thing and install it. So I'll just grab it. And I will shut this down at the moment, and I'll just paste it in and install the packages. So now it's completely installed, which is good. And if you go back to the docs, we can see that this is a really important thing to keep in mind, the way you add the actual resolve object to the plugins array in the Gatsby config.js file. So you really need to keep in mind, you really need to pay attention to the structure of this plugins array, because the way that they want you to add it is that you have the resolve object of Gatsby transformer remark, which is something we already have in the project. And in this one, you have options and you have a plugins array inside of that object. And this is where you want to add the actual object for the remark-prismjs. And this was something that I was looking for. I didn't really get how to add it, and I really tried to search online for solutions, and I didn't realize that the way you're supposed to add it is inside of the resolve object of this plugin. So it's a nested plugin, so to say. So let's do this. So I will grab this entire thing. So the actual this object, I will grab it. So it's inside of the plugins array. It's not really easy to read, but yeah, this is what it is right now. So I'll just grab it and I will actually close all files, and I will go to the Gatsby config file, and here we have the transformer remark. So right here we have an issue because this is not supposed to be a string anymore. This is supposed to be an object. So I will turn it into an object like this. So now it is an object. But yeah, this is not really how you do it. So it has to be the resolve property. And it also has to have an options property, which is an object. And this object has the plugins array. And this is where we paste the actual object or the plugin for the prism syntaxing. So I hope that made sense. So basically now we have this object, we no longer have a string, we have an object, and it has the options property, and which has the plugins array, and this array contains this prism plugin. And I think it looks right to me. So if we look at what this plugin gives us, it has a bunch of things. We're not interested in this because we don't need to have this prefix. I don't need it at the moment. This inline code marker, yeah, we can just keep it right now. I'll just have it like that. The aliases is quite interesting because this is how you can map basically shortcuts for a language. So let's say in your markdown files you want to add a snippet for a C# code snippet, so to say. So I think it's called C# like that, but you can map it to like CS. So if you say CS C#, then you can basically use this alias in your markdown files. So I think this is a really cool thing, but for now I don't want any aliases. I'm good without them. I don't think I need to show the line numbers either. I'll just remove some of this so it's cleaner. I don't need none of the language extensions. Basically don't need anything of this, so I think I'm pretty much good with this. This is enough for me. So if I save it, I want to add a couple of things that are in another file. So keep in mind that we have, the way Gatsby works is that you have a bunch of configuration files which do different things, and one of the files that you can add in a Gatsby project is called the gatsby-browser.js. And here I just want to import a theme because I want to have a theme for the code snippets. So I'll just paste it here. So this is my theme that I want to use. And I also want to, let me see. The next thing I want to do is, let me just go to the markdown files to see if I'm actually using the syntax that is necessary. So in the open close principle file, I have to scroll down a little bit. So this is the way it works in Markdown. So if you want to add a code snippet, you have to add 3 backticks and then the name of the language, which is JS in my case, JavaScript. You can also write JavaScript, it works. And don't forget to end the actual code snippet with the 3 backticks. So if I run the server, I want to see if it's actually working. Okay, so now the server is running again. Let's go back to the actual blog post and let's reload this. So now you're seeing that we have the actual highlighting, which is great. One thing that we're noticing here is that the actual font isn't really the one that we want. It's actually mixed in some way, so I want to fix that. So I'll go to the layout file, I'll collapse everything, I'll go to the source folder, I'll go to the components, and here in the layout.scss, I want to add some global styling. So I'll just paste it in here. So it's basically the code the code element, and everything nested inside of it should have this font family. Okay, so for some reason there's something wrong with the formatting here. So I'll just fix this by writing it properly. And if I go back, now we see that it's just the way I wanted it. So I think this is awesome. We now have code highlighting, and yeah, I think it looks much neater. And also we can see that this is also highlighted now. So whenever you use backticks, you can use them inline too. So the way that looks in a markdown file, I can show you by going to this file. We see that I just add 1 backtick, and this is the way that you can add inline highlighting. So this looks good to me. I am happy with this.